Good morning. It is Travis again, and just wanted to show you real quick. I'm parked down here. That's where we stopped. And the place that we're gonna start our hike is right up here. So we pulled in right down this area and then just circled around and parked. And up here they've got the road blocked, which is good, so no traffic can get up through there. And as you can see, there is a little snow on the ground. So, Jake's Creek Trail, and we're actually gonna hike today to Cucumber Gap Trail. It's gonna go, I think, over to, we're gonna pass Husky Branch Falls, and then we come back down Little River. So the whole trip, it's basically it's like a circle, oval. It's a little under 6 miles round trip, and we'll come back down a little farther. I'll show you when we get there. But just to show you a little bit here, let me make sure I can get it on the GoPro. But I filmed some of the snow, which I was not expecting, which I know it's not a lot, but it's the first I've seen this year. But I filmed some of it on the directions here. So before we get any farther, let me flip over to that and roll the directions so you know how to get here. Those are coming up now. Well, I believe almost every single video that I have about hiking starts the same way, but if you're coming from the Maryville-Alcoa area and you drive through Townsend, you're going to come up to the Townsend Y and going to make a left today, and luckily that is where I was headed, because it looks like they've got signage up that says Cades Cove is closed today until 11 a.m. for some reason. So anyway, we're going to go to the left, and we're headed towards Elkmont. And you're going to pass Metcalf Bottoms Picnic Area, which is up here on your left. But just to let you know, that is one of the landmarks to look for as you're starting to get closer here to Elkmont. And I doubt you're going to be able to see it, but on the left and the right, in the leaves and in the grass, there's actually a little bit of snow, that's the first snow I've seen so far. It's just been in this kind of one area, which is odd, but anyway, thought I would show you that. I don't know if I'll see any more while I'm up here, but that's the first snow of this year for sure here in Tennessee that I've seen. Not much, but it's a little bit. We'll take it. There's a little bit more of the snow. You can see it on the trees, hopefully in the background and on the sides, but I'm just amazed. Like, I knew it was colder, but I didn't expect to see any snowfall at all this morning. It's kind of a nice sight to see. We don't get a lot of snow, so when we do get it, it's very special. There's some more. Got a little bit of it, just so you can see over to the left in the leaves standing out more. But I'm just completely shocked. Just did not expect this at all. From the Townsend Y to get to this point, so just to kind of give you an idea. Alright, And then when you get to this point here, which only took about 4 minutes from the point that we turned going towards Elkmont, we're gonna make a left here. And it says Elkmont Nature Trail, Little River Trail, and Jake's Creek Trail. Alright, and as you pull into this area, let's see, Little River Trail, Jake's Creek. We're actually going up there a little bit farther to park. Start, but I need to pull around through here and park first. So let me get situated, and I'll catch back up here in just a few minutes. All right, so welcome back. I did this trail a few weeks ago with my wife, and so I'm gonna just do a quick little recap. It's the other video was Jake's Creek Trail to Avent Cabin, but just to kind of show you real quick, walk up through here. There's more on that other video. I'll link it here at the end. But here's some of the, like the remains of the chimneys of some of the cabins that were up here earlier before they were destroyed. And there's some of the water. And we'll walk right up here. I'm not going to film as much on this part as I did, because you can see that on the other video. But I have to kind of re-hike part of this trail to get to the other part, that Cucumber Gap and the Little River Trail, which I've not done before. But here is, you can see some of the foundation that's left, and the chimney, and you've got a view of the water. Of course, you can see the little bit of snow on the leaves, but so there's several of these that are, you know, just the chimneys that are remaining. And the water level, fortunately it did rain the past couple of days, so the water level's a little healthier than what it was. It's still not great, but much better than what it was. You can see there's another chimney or two or even three off in the distance. I'm not going to go to all of those. But anyways, you can see, I mean, we just started right down there, so we're not that far. But there's several of those up through this part. And like I said, the other video that I've done, which was Jake's Creek's Trail, it goes up here to Avent Cabin. We won't be going that far today, but I'll put the link at the end of this video so that you can see it. But I've got my dual hiking poles. I'm going to break those out in a minute when I switch this over to the chest cam. So last week, well, a week today, the temperatures were near 80, and this morning it's 30 degrees, and I think the high is supposed to only be around 45, so definitely much different. Like I said, there you can see hopefully a little bit of the snowfall. I know in parts of the Midwest and Northeast this is nothing, but you know, we didn't have any back at the house. I didn't expect, I knew it'd be cooler up here. I just didn't think they would have any snow yet on the ground, so this is actually a pleasant surprise. But yeah, it was like 80, near 80 last Sunday, And today, this morning it's 30, so I've layered up a little bit more than normal. Actually, I hope I've layered up enough, but I'm hoping as I start to walk, I'll warm up quite a bit. But anyway, as you can see, there's a couple more of the chimneys. And so this is a pretty good trail. It's a short one. If you just want to come up and do the Jake's Creek up to Advent Cabin, that's a good one to do. But today, I'm going to hike this part again and go over to Cucumber Gap Trail, which I didn't even know existed. I think I remember seeing it on one of the signs when we were up here last time, but really didn't know that much about it until I got on my map last night and looked at it. And then Husky Branch Falls, if I can find that. It was listed on the map. And then we'll go down and finish on the Little River Trail, which will bring us out just below here, and I'll have to hike back up to where the truck is, but not that far. So anyway, let me switch back over to the chest mount. I did remember to bring that today, so that's a little better than last week when I hiked. But so let me do that, and I'll get a little bit more video here shortly. Here's one of the other chimneys. I'm not going to climb up there, but I'm just going to show it to you. It's just neat to see the old structures on this trail. Like I said, if you just want to come to Elkmont and just do a quick one, as you can see, the road used to be paved. This is what's remaining, and it only goes up a short ways and then it turns into gravel. But hopefully you can see a little bit more of the snow there. I know I'm going on and on about it, but like I said, we just don't get a lot of snow here, and especially this early in the year. So I mean, it's like mid-November. I did want to check out something though. I didn't do this last time, but I'm gonna head over here real quick because I remember seeing this, and I can't remember if I went back here or not. I don't think I did. That would have been much easier if I'd have just came this way. That path's a little clear. But you see another foundation here, but I can't remember if I came back here or not. So I'm gonna get this on video. So I mean, this is considerable foundation. I don't know what this, if this would have been part of a house or not. It seems awfully big for that. And it's got these big pipes coming up. I don't know what that would have been used for, but this looks like it's way too big to, I mean, for a house. So I don't know if it's some kind of a storage, but I mean, just to let you see, if you can see that, how tall this is. But anyway, I'm not sure what this would have been used for. And I don't know if you can tell or not, I had these last week. I just got these. These are the extendable hiking poles. I figured with the rain that we had over the past couple of days, and all the leaves are down on the ground, this trail is going to be a little slicker than normal. So at least with this, that's one of my biggest fears. My wife was worried with me coming up here again by myself about me falling or twisting an ankle. So I told her I would use these. That way I've got at least 3 points of contact on the ground at any given point of time, so that hopefully if I do slip a little bit, it won't be a super bad fall. But it is slick. And I did want to show you this real quick. This is one of these little resort cabins from back in the day that they are, I think, in the process of restoring. So you can see another one of the fireplaces over here, and then here's the one that, you know, they're actually working on. It's under construction. So not the, you know, the old cabins that you were probably expecting back in the 1800s or whatever, but this is probably early 1900s, 1920s, maybe a little beyond that. Like I said, a lot of this is covered in that other video that I put out there that I'll put a link to, but if this is the first video you see, I'll give you just a little bit more information. And I was going to read off the name of it, but it's covered in snow, so I'm not going to mess that up. It's too pretty. But that was a sign that had some information about the cabin and who owned it and all that, but that's on the other video. There's a gate right here. I mean, I was just right there just a second ago, so. But I saw this last time and I didn't come up through here, and I just want to look real quick. Probably nothing back here, but my curiosity's got the best of me. I'm not gonna go too far. I said I wasn't. This looks like it may go up a little ways. There appears to be some kind of a structure back there. I can't tell if it's just like a rock or a fallen tree or if it's actually building, but I want to go back here and look because I did not get this on the other video. There's another foundation in there with a chimney. Well, I'm not the only one that's walked back through here. There is a trail. Well, it's something. Definitely see more of the snow. Maybe like a water tower, old water tower or tank. I gotta go under this tree for a second, so hang on. Ooh. Alright, so probably not a water tower, but definitely stored something. Can't really tell. There's a ladder over there. Not sure if you can see on the GoPro. And then old electrical. So this probably is where they controlled it. And then we got an old tank here. I mean, I just can't get over the difference that a week makes. 80 degrees and I was burning up last weekend, and now it's cold. I had to put my gloves on. My fingers were getting cold. But anyway, just a big tank. So thought I would come back here and see what that looked like. Anyway, we'll head back down. I know you can't see it, but there's a big old deer just running off in the distance. I heard something stomping up through here, and it was a big old buck. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't have the GoPro going. I wish I had. You could have seen him. I mean, that's crazy. So I'm not 100% sure what goes that direction. There's no signage, but this is the first sign here in Jake's Creek's trail, so I know that we want to go this direction. But man, I heard like a thump, 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 thump. I'm like, what is that? It almost sounded like a stereo, like bass. And I thought, well, maybe there's just somebody back here that's already started hiking and they're listening to music, or maybe there was some kind of machinery. And looked up, and man, it's a giant buck. Unbelievable. So here's a little bridge. Not much of one, but basically to get over. I'm assuming the Parks Service can drive up through here. But golly, man, that was a freaking awesome surprise. I would not have guessed that. I mean, that buck was pretty good size too. I mean, just coming right at me, just walking along in the snow, like, hey. And he saw me and like, what are you doing here? I'm like, I don't know, what are you doing here? So he bailed. I was kind of hoping I might see him up here in the woods, but I doubt it. And I know you're not gonna be able to sit on the GoPro. I just wish this thing would zoom in a little more. But oh well. Alright, so we're coming up to the first intersection here that did not take very long. I'm just gonna pan around for just a second. I mean, I could film this whole hike just showing the snow, because it is absolutely gorgeous. But that would be a really long video to watch. So anyway, if you were gonna continue on to Jake's Creek Trail, you would go this way, and there's another intersection down here, and you would bear to the left. But we're actually going to take Cucumber Gap Trail over to Little River Trail, so 2.3 miles, and we're going to go this way. So, as you can tell, which this is kind of what I expected, the trail was going to get much more narrow than the main trail that we were on. And I was expecting there to be leaves. I was expecting it to be wet and muddy, but I was not expecting there to be snow and ice on these routes, which will make things a little bit more of a challenge. But like I said, I am using these, and I'm really glad I brought these, so I think this will help, hopefully. But yeah, definitely need to take it a little slower today, but I'm kind of wanting to take it slower on purpose, just for the fact, man, this is almost like heaven to me, just for the fact that we don't get to see a lot of snow, and that I'm getting to see this today. I mean, it's just phenomenal. Up here in the mountains, I mean, the woods themselves are absolutely beautiful, but put a little snow on it, wow. I mean, it almost is magical. Well, I passed a smaller water crossing a few minutes ago. It was primarily, I think, just runoff, but this one is a little bit more. So I'm making sure I don't slip on these logs. Lots of rocks and roots. So this one is definitely more significant. So definitely need to watch your footing. overall not too bad. But as you can see, the stream itself, this one looks like it might actually run year round versus just run off from when the rain comes. Man, I'm still just absolutely blown away by the snow. Just awesome. I wanted to film a little bit more of this. Just with the snow. Like, I don't think anybody's been through here yet this morning, which I wouldn't expect, so. I mean, this is just nuts. How beautiful it is. Peaceful, quiet. Just absolutely phenomenal. And I just expect with it being this early and this cold, I just don't think I'm going to see anybody, but I feel like once I get towards the end of the trail, I may bump into one or two people, but just the fact that I may be one of the few people that gets to see this today, other than anybody that's watching this video, I mean, it's just amazing. Just absolute quiet. Well, as I get farther up, there's more snow on the trail itself. And I had seen some footprints in the mud earlier, thinking somebody might have been hiking in front of me. But it looks like that might have been from yesterday, because there's no indications in the snow at all anybody's been up through here. So I know you can't tell, but the trail went right down through there. But I just kind of wanted you to see that. A little bit more of the trail here. Probably looks the same to you on the camera, but just the fact that there's this much snow when I wasn't expecting there to be any, just definitely different. It's the first hike I've been on where there's been snow, because I just started earlier this year, so we've always went when it was pretty warm. But I'll be honest, I think I like the cooler weather much better. Like, it's about 30-32 degrees, and it's just about perfect. I mean, the snow itself makes this absolutely wonderful, but as far as the temperature goes, like the fact that I'm moving, and my heart rate's up, and I've got, several layers on, I'm staying warm, but I'm not sweating either. And it seems to be actually helping my like my muscles, my leg muscles and my joints. Like, I'm not struggling like I am sometimes. So maybe the fact that, like, just mentally, when it's hot and I'm struggling to get up some of these trails, you know, I'm just thinking it's worse than what it actually is. But I think my mind's preoccupied right now with just the scenery right now, that's maybe taking some of that off of my physical ailments. But I do like the temperature a lot better, that's for sure. Not sweating. Yeah, there's definitely not been anybody up here this morning, as you can see with the amount of snow that's on this section of the trail. So I am leaving some prints now, but I can honestly say I'm the first person that's seen this morning, which is pretty awesome. Here's another part of the trail still covered with snow, and there has definitely not been anybody else down through here yet. I don't think I'm going to sneak up on anybody with as much noise as I'm making between the leaves and the snow on the ground crunching under my shoes, or my boots. I'm actually wearing boots today, and I'm glad I did. Well, I could definitely hear some water as I was walking down through this last section of the trail, but I didn't realize there was going to be this much to cross. So this ought to be interesting. All right, slow and steady. Okay, wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Alright, so I'm coming up to this crossing, and there's supposed to be like Husky Branch Falls, and I don't know if I missed it. Like, I never could really hear a lot of water, or it sounds like it might be up here somewhere, but I may have missed it. I thought it was supposed to be back on this section of the trail. But so Cucumber Gap Trail, Jake's Creek Trail 2.4, that's where we just came from. And then this says Husky Gap Trail up here to the left. That's where I'm gonna go, and then come back down. And then I'm gonna take the Little River Trailhead 2.4 back this direction. So this is the way we came. This is the way that I'm gonna head out, but I'm gonna go up here 0.4 miles just to get to the end of this one and turn around and come back. But unless the falls is down here, I missed it somewhere, but I never saw any place where I could get off the trail, and so hopefully I didn't miss it, but maybe I did. So anyway, let's head this way and see what's up here. Well, there's definitely more water right here, but I haven't seen anything yet that resembles a waterfall. So, gosh, I really hope I didn't miss it. Definitely some water moving now. I'd say the rain past couple of days helped quite a bit too, but pretty awesome sight. Hopefully you can hear it also on the GoPro. saw this as I was from a distance, and I'm like, what the heck? Because all I could see was just like a layer of snow. And the good news is there are some other tracks here, so oh, somebody fishing. Nice. So I'm not the only one up here, thank goodness. Morning. Morning. Alright, not messing with him with his fly fishing, but there's some of the water you can see down through here also. I think we're coming up to the point here of this trail. You can't hardly hear back there with the water as loud as it was. He didn't hear me the first time, and I don't think he would have heard me if he hadn't turned around. Anyway, this is this gap. I was just going to show you, is like from a distance you see that, like all you see is the snow on the bridge. I didn't know what that was. I'm like, that seems odd, awfully flat surface. I should have known, but I didn't. So if I was to go on, Sureland Mountain Trail is 2.1 that way, which doesn't look like much of a trail, and then campsite 21 is 0.3, so just up the road a little bit. And then Newfound Gap Road is 4.1 miles that direction. And let's see, Little River Trail, so Cumberland Gap Trails where we just came from, the 0.4, going back down to the Little River Head, or the Little River Trailhead, 2.8, that's where we're gonna head, so it's the 0.4 plus the other 2.4. And then Goshen Prong Trail, 1.0 miles that way. So maybe one day I'll come up here and knock out some of these others, or maybe there's a way you can come in from a different direction, but as of right now, I am going to turn back and just head back this way that we came, because I've still got 2.8 miles to go. But anyway, let's do that. Going back across the bridge here. Well, I thought about getting my phone out and taking a photo, but gosh, if I was to drop my phone and it go through the cracks in that bridge and land in the water, I'd be really upset, so I chose not to. Maybe some other photo opportunities down the trail here. Well, I worked my way down here to take some pictures with my camera, and I forgot to turn the GoPro on so that you all could see it. I guess I just thought I would enjoy this moment by myself. So there's a view of the river, or mountain stream, whatever you want to refer to it as. I'm trying to get a little better view here without falling in the water. definitely a nice view. Just gotta watch my step. But you can see still some snow. Here's the little pathway I took to get down to the water. Just kind of showing you it is off the main trail a little bit. So that's where I had hiked up to and turned around. So we're headed back down here to this other intersection, and then we'll take the little river trail. So I did not film these two spots on the way up here to this little bridge, but just to let you know what you're in for, there's a couple spots right like this that are extremely muddy. There's one more up here, and I can't remember if that was the worst one of the two. But then you hit this spot right here. You can definitely tell from the tracks that the Park Service has had at least an ATV or something up here. But yeah, muddy. So I would recommend, if you know it's rained, to wear some boots for sure. Waterproof preferably. As you can see, we're coming back up to the intersection that I filmed a few minutes ago. So here's a nice bench that you can sit and relax if you want to. I wouldn't recommend that today. Your butt will get cold. I was trying to see if somebody had set something down. It looks like somebody set their backpack. So maybe I'm not the only person up here other than the guy that was fishing. So this is where we came down originally from Cucumber Gap Trail. And then I just walked right up here to this bridge. But we're gonna go take, this is the Little River Trailhead down this direction. So I'm assuming since it says Little River Trailhead, that means that was the Little River and we're gonna be walking next to it. But I'm just making an assumption at this part. Also thought I was going to find the Husky Gap waterfall. Never saw it either, so we shall see. Well, if nothing else, I definitely like this trail much better as far as it being flat and wider. So that's a nice change of pace. And I'm wondering if this does, since it does border the water, this might be one that's traveled a lot more for people that want to come up here and fly fish. So I may run into a few more people. Of course, I don't know, with it being as cold as it is, that may have scared a few people away, but we'll see. But as you can see, there's the water again. So this is definitely a nice trail if you're going to be next to the river the whole time. And it looks like we've got another crossing up here, covered with snow. A little waterfall. I don't know if that's the Husky Gap Falls or not, but pretty nice. Alright, so I did want to come up here real quick, and I say quick, but I need to take my time. But I just want to see what was up here, because it looks like a pretty good site. Well, I keep turning my GoPro off because I'm trying to get photos, but this is where we came up. There's the little bridge. Had to go over this tree. Got a pretty good view of the waterfall. Let's see if I can go up a little bit farther. And so there's that. And to be honest with you, I really want to go right up this little trail. I'm trying to see what's up there. Let me look real quick. Hopefully this is quick. Just make sure I've got my footing. I think going up is going to be easier than going back down. Just curious what's up here. Ugh. Ooh, little slick. Just looks like more water, but still a pretty cool sight, especially with the snow. I don't know if you can see the mountains in the background there with snow on them. Yeah, pretty neat. So let me turn this off and I'll make my way back down. I want to take a few more pictures with my camera. Well, I did make it down safely, and I saw a group of 4 just pass, so at least I know I'm not the only people out today. Makes me feel a little bit better. But I do feel like this particular trail right here is probably more traveled than the other one that I did, the Cumberland Gap. Just for the fact that, as you can see, this trail looks pretty easy to walk, and you've got the water still over here. And yeah, but I will say that Cumberland Gap, that to me was just awesome because I was by myself. Nobody else had been through there. I don't know, just something about being up here and going on a hike by yourself, just away from the world. I enjoyed it, and I'm sure I'll pass a few more people down here, but I didn't have a lot of high hopes, to be honest with you, for this trail before I did it, but it has surprised me. It's been very, very nice. Definitely recommend it. And I think for like just a more of a beginner hiker, or even somebody just wants to kind of go walk in the woods, this trail right here definitely seems like a one that you could do. That's pretty easy. So definitely recommended. It's just so weird to see like these trees. All the leaves are still green, but covered in snow. Alright, back up still on this trail, and as you can see, there's still plenty of water. So this trail must follow the river all the way down, hence the name. And the fact that, like, we've got another one of these wooden benches coming up here, that would indicate to me that this is one that's probably more heavily traveled. Pretty good view of the water. Probably try to get a picture of it with my camera, but I don't want to go down here too far and slide all the way in. Be a rough ride and a cold one. There's a little pull off on the side of this trail. Just curious. I know it's headed towards the water. I can hear it, but just curious what is right here for us to see. am not going to make my way down through there. I could if I wanted to, but it's just so slick. But make my way back to the main trail. And I have passed a few more people, so a total of 4, 6, 8, 9, including the gentleman that was fly fishing. So, I mean, that's quite a few, but now all of them have been on this trail. I didn't see anybody on the Cumberland Gap. And I mean, that makes sense because you can see this is just a much easier trail to travel. But 9 people on a cold day like this, I mean, that's pretty impressive. My guess is on a warm day, this one would have a lot of people on it. And I'm just shocked. I've never really heard this much about this trail. But I do know this. Being here this close to the water, the temperature is much colder here. So I don't know if it's the fact that, because I can feel more wind too. So it feels like the wind can travel, next to the water here, and it's bringing some of the coldness up to the trail. I felt like on the other trail, I guess I was insulated, being away from the water and there in the woods itself, but it is definitely colder. I mean, it feels like it's probably 4 or 5 degrees colder here next to the water. But anyway, on a nice warm day, you wouldn't have to worry about that. Well, I've passed even more people. So I think another, let's see, that was at 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 people. And as you can see, there's still water. So if you were to hike this trail, the Little River Trail, I mean, you're gonna have some pretty good scenery the entire time. It is muddy and wet though right now. So I would recommend maybe a little warmer and drier day. But for me, I've got the waterproof boots on and I'm layered up, so hadn't been too big of a problem. But definitely, if I had started on this trail and came up, I would have filmed a ton of the water, which you guys have probably seen enough of already. But to me, it's just an impressive sight. I enjoy being up here in the mountains and kind of being out on my own and having the water here. The noise of that blocks out all the other noise in the world, and just kind of think about nothing, which is kind of nice. No stress. But having the snow today has been an added bonus that I was not expecting. So super thrilled about that. But anyway, just to stop for a second, I think I'm getting eager to get back to my truck. I had a goal set to hike this in about 3 hours, and I think it's going to take me closer to about 3.5, maybe 3 hours and 45 minutes. But I did stop a lot. I got off the trail a couple times. I was taking a lot of pictures, probably too many. But anyway, just kind of showing you, what this looks like. And I have seen several people. So with it being as cold as it is and seeing that many, I can't imagine what it'd be like on a warm day. So just kind of keep that in mind. Well, here's another little bench area that you could sit and rest. Definitely not recommended. Let's see. John and Carol, 2022 SM, I don't know, Smoky Mountains. I don't know. But anyway, I got that on video. If for some reason you were one of the couples that I have passed today, I did get that on video for you. But I should be getting close to the end very soon. I hope. Alright, so I must be getting close to the end here. It says, notice, buildings and grounds in this area are closed to the public. And I assume, yeah, it's more of these, like when I started the trail. So we've got the chimneys. See the chimney left and the stairwell of one of these. But there may be another building down here too. There's another chimney off in the distance. But you can see this one here where the steps used to be. But and I see a building down here. I don't know if this is condemned or what. There's another chimney off in the distance. And I met a couple of really nice people just a couple of minutes ago from Delaware, originally from Boston, but super nice people visiting the area, staying in Townsend, getting out on some of the trails. It was good to talk to them. I hope they actually at some point look this video up, and I gave them the information, but I know it's such a small channel that not many people are able to see it yet, or even willing to, because unless you like hiking, it's really not going to be that great. But yeah, it looks like there's an old structure back here, another one of the cabins, but can't tell if that's one of the old ones or if that's something that's actually still in use. But I'm going to cut this off. I got people coming up here. Alright, so I'm at the end here. So this is the Little River Trail 2.3 to Cucumber Gap, which is where I just came from. And this is talking about the Elkmont Historic District, the Appalachian Club. And so here's the gate that's got it blocked off, and this says reserved, reservation, event parking only. So I do believe that this cabin back here may still be in use, but I'm not going to go all the way up here, see what it says. Special, wait, no. Spence cabin in use, visitation by reservation. So, Spence cabin. But anyway, get back down here to kind of the parking lot area. The cold has zapped my batteries on the GoPro, so I'm about out of juice. So, I'm going to turn this off for just a second. Alright, so this is the parking area. And that's the trail for Little River. And this says Spence Cabin. And I swear I don't remember seeing this as I drove in, but I'm going to assume that I did, and walk up here to the top of this hill and hope that my truck's up here. So good news is I did make it back to my truck, and that was the correct way. So I just had to walk up that hill. I did not remember that, but that was the correct path. So I'm filming the rest here from my truck. So I hope you enjoyed that video. That was Jake's Creek Trail up to a Cucumber Gap Trail, and then finalizing there on Little River Trail. And I would say I really enjoyed, like, if you take Jake's Creek, you can go straight and you can get up to that Avent cabin. So I've got a video on that. I'll try to link that one on here at the end. Cucumber Gap, I enjoyed it. That's more of it's a narrow trail, very seclusive. I didn't see anybody else on there. And then if you want to come up here and just do this little river trail, that one's awesome. Very easy to walk. A lot of people on it. Water, a couple of bridges. There's the waterfall. I do not know if that was the Husky Gap falls. I don't know. I'm gonna say that it is because it's the only waterfall that I saw. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that. If you did, please hit the like button. Also, if you would hit the subscribe button, it doesn't cost anything, but it will give you a notification if I put a new video up. And and if you would put some comments down in the bottom, I'd love to hear from you. This was a cold trail today. Last week, like I said, it was about 80 degrees, and today it was about 30 with snow. And but you know, the fact that I saw the deer early on, which was awesome, and then the snow, which made it even greater. But anyway, my batteries on my GoPro, the cold weather killed them, so I'm down to like 10% on this last battery, so hopefully I can get this in. But anyway, like I said, hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, I'll see you then.